All right, hello everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome to LiveStream Under the Moonshine number 189. Guys, I think it's been about 3 months since we've last done a live stream Under the Moonshine. I am up tonight. The moon is out, and we are getting ready here in next week, I think, to have a total solar eclipse. Speaking of the moon and the sun and all that. So what better time to go ahead and start my live stream Under the Moonshine series again? And tonight, it's one of my favorite things to do on these live stream Under the Moonshines, and that is visual novels. So yes, my handcrafted introduction for live stream Under the Moonshine, Fire Kirby. I actually recorded the moon myself for that particular video. And here we go, guys. This one is supposed to be pretty good. It just launched a couple of days ago on Steam. It is completely free, so if you guys want to play it yourself, you're certainly able to do that by clicking the link in the description. You can probably read through the visual novel quicker than I can do it here. But before we actually get into Connected Hearts, guys, and get into, that visual novel, I want to go ahead and see if I can get you guys interested in my second game to come to Steam. This fall, I'm going to be introducing my second published game on Steam. This game will come to Steam, so I want to go ahead and give you guys a quick look at what that'll be. And it will just be a 99-cent game. So yes, it will be my second game. My first one is Rock and Roll. It is already up on Steam. And this one I am looking to put out sometime in the coming months, sometime this fall. So I want to go ahead and give you guys a quick peek at that. Let me go ahead and turn on my desktop display here. Now this is a game that I started making when I first got Game Maker about 2 or 3 years ago, and I haven't worked on it forever, but I recorded all the sounds, and I got the idea from... Again, I got it from when I was a child. The idea of this game comes from when I was a child, and one of my favorite electronic games that I had back as a child was a electronic game one of my grandmothers from Texas sent me as a child. And I had never heard of it, but I remember loving it when I was a child. And so that was the inspiration for this particular game. So I call this game Match It Up. And it's a simple matching game, but with the way I'm creating it, it should have some really humorous moments. So this is just going to be a really, really quick, hype for the game. So here, in this particular screen, we kind of see an outline, a basic idea of what the game screen will look like. So let me go ahead and blow this up. So all you're going to do is you're going to compete with either the computer or another player, and you're going to try to get the most matches. So it's going to scramble up. I think right now there's over 50 different sentences, if you would. Things like flush your toilet, and, ride a horse, or shampoo your carpets, or wash the dishes. Stuff like that. And with this one, what you're going to do is you're going to click on a red, which is going to be the first part of the sentence. Pretty much everything except for the last word. And it's going to tell you like 7 or how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17, like I said, it's been 2 or 3 years since I even went this far, guys. And I just want to go ahead and finish this game. This is going to become my second game on Steam. Probably going to be a 99-cent game, more than likely, as soon as I finish it. But all the sounds and everything are recorded for it already. So let's say that Fire Kirby and I are playing the game, and we're here, and first thing is we hear a bunch of 17 different sentences that we're going to be playing with in the game. I'm probably going to make this smaller, and I'm going to show the actual sentence written out here as well in case you can't understand it. But let's say it's Fire Kirby's turn, and he's playing, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to pick this red one right here. Well, what's going to happen, I already have all these sounds recorded, like I say. So he's going to go ahead and we're going to hear all these sentences first, like I say. So we're going to hear sounds like complete sentences like this. We're going to hear something like,
kick the habit.
So kick the habit, which is, just a saying. So maybe he's going to go ahead and pick this red one, and he's going to get kicked by picking this one. Well, over here randomly somewhere, different every game, it's going to require memory. So this is going to be a game a lot like memory. So you're going to come over here and you're going to try to finish kick the habit. So you're going to get kick the here, and you got to try to find habit over here. But what's going to happen is he might come along and he might pick something over here, the blue one, and it might be something like this.
House.
So it's going to be, he's going to get kicked the house, right? And then my voice is going to laugh at you and say ridiculous, or you're retarded, or, you know, you're an imbecile, or whatever. And it's going to be my turn to play. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, okay, well, I think I remember where kick the habit was. Or I might pick a different red one to get a whole new sentence, whatever. But it's going to create some, it's going to have some pretty funny moments, if you would. So, for example, I think this is one of them. There's going to be so many possible combinations that you're bound to get some really funny moments. So maybe I pick a red one and I pick something like
Smell the.
Smell the. So the correct answer is flowers. Smell the flowers, and it'll tell you all these sentences before your game starts, so you'll know what you're looking for. So I'll be like, okay, I pick this red one and it says smell the, and I'm looking for flowers over here, and I click this blue one, for example, and I get
Beals.
And I, you know, and what might happen, let's see here. Where's the one I found? I think this is it, maybe. So I'm going to go
Smell the toilet.
Smell the toilet. So that is going to be what it's going to say, and people are going to laugh and think, oh my God, that's retarded, that's funny. And then you're going to hear some response like this. And he's going to laugh at you.
Ridiculous.
And tell you ridiculous or retarded or whatever, and it's going to be back to Fire Kirby's turn. And the person that gets the most matches is going to win the game. So really simple memory type game that should offer some pretty funny moments. I mean, there's all kinds of hilarious moments where, you know, things in there where you could get, instead of flush the toilet, like the correct one for the toilet is actually flush the toilet. Well, you could get things like flush the dog or flush the baby, or, you know, one of them is swat the fly. You could get swat the wife or whatever. So there is definitely going to be some funny sentences and funny moments in Match It Up. So I think this game will definitely be worth the $1 I'll ask for it on Steam. And again, guys, just a sneak peek at my next game and what's coming as my second published game on Steam. So really simple game, really simple memory game. And it's a, you know, it's a kind of game that can definitely help you mentally and help you, you know, your memorization and stuff like that. Games like this definitely can help your memory. And I think this is a game that'll definitely be fun for, what was the one I found earlier? I found one that said like, do the laundry. One of these is like do the laundry is a sentence you got to try to complete. And I was actually going through these, and one of them you could actually click it and it said do the and horse. So you're going to, you know, do the horse, and of course it's going to laugh at you, and I think this is going to be a fun game. Like I say, I remember a lot simpler little kind of handheld electronic game called Milton when I was a kid. They no longer make that game. But I remember having a ton of fun. I think I have a video of it on YouTube somewhere. But you guys can check that out. It's called Milton. And it was an electronic, not electronic arts, but it was an electronic game made by Milton Bradley back in the 80s. And they haven't made it in years and years and years. But anyway, guys, that is my teaser for Match It Up. So you guys can let me know in the comments below if you're watching this video after what you think of Match It Up. Let me know if you guys think it would be a game you would buy for 99 cents on Steam. And of course, I'll definitely, you know, throw in achievements and trading cards and stuff like that. Obviously, it has to sell a certain amount of copies now before you can introduce trading cards. But it'll have, you know, that kind of thing as long as it sells enough copies and all that. Right now, though, this is not my focus. My focus right now in the coming weeks is going to be adding a co-op multiplayer to Rock and Roll. So I definitely want to get a co-op multiplayer working in Rock and Roll. I want to get Rock and Roll finished before I really start working a ton on Match It Up. But Match It Up is something I definitely plan on getting out there sometime this fall. That is the plan. So there we go with that, guys. Let's go ahead and get into Connected Heart, shall we? How you doing, Karumi? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Falconer. Yeah, rock and roll is definitely going to have a multiplayer. All right. So I don't know really what this game's about, guys. I just know that it's got 10 positive reviews so far. It looks like a pretty good visual novel. I know that some of my favorite visual novels have been either very inexpensive on Steam or they've been free. And this is yet another free one. It looks like it's made people laugh and cry. So we'll see if it gets my tears flowing before the end of it. I think if we like this one, if we enjoy this one, this is probably going to be many parts, guys. I think this is going to take me probably at least 8 to 10 hours of total reading to read through. So this is going to be a long one. How you doing, Angel? You're at work today. I'm sorry about that. You should have a designer look at it, your color scheme and all that. It's hip, old man. It isn't hip, old man. Gotcha. Yeah, you're probably right, Angel. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into this. We are going to choose English. Hopefully you guys all speak English okay. And wow, this music is pretty loud. I'm going to go ahead and turn down the background music here. I want you guys to be able to hear it. Let me know, guys, if you guys cannot hear the music well. I know that music plays a big part of some of these visual novels, but I don't want it to be so loud that it, is too loud. So let me know how it sounds, guys. If I need to turn the background music up, I can. Can you guys even hear the music at all? All right. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start. An unknown place full of faces that I can't identify. A tender smile directed at me. My lips say something that I cannot remember. I only knew that it is different from silence. My lips say something that I can't remember? Okay, I just know it's not silence. Interesting. Then my vision gets covered by smoke. A part of me is incinerated. Whoa! What the heck? Starting off with a little intrigue. Not my body is incinerated, but my soul. Something was lost, without hope for ever coming back. And yet, I don't have the slightest idea what it was. Well, it's already got my interest. I don't know what's going on, but... Alright, have fun, Angel. Have a good day at working. I suddenly opened my eyes, completely confused. That strange dream forced me to wake up. I guess you could call it a nightmare, but it doesn't feel right. It was different. Rather than a bad dream, it felt like I was watching a movie, with characters, a climax, and an ending. Boy, I tell you what, guys, as a guy, I definitely like having dreams that have a climax. Don't you guys? If you're old enough, I mean. What about you, Ryan? Do you like having dreams that have a climax? All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Ryan. All right. So basically, he's had a dream that obviously felt really real, or like a movie. However, there wasn't a beginning. Everything came out of nowhere, as if I had just missed the first act of a play. Well, I know that's kind of how I always remember when I do remember my dreams. They don't really make a lot of sense, and it does feel like they've come out of nowhere. They just kind of happen, and you remember a part of your dream. Maybe that's the way you remember them or whatever. But dreams can definitely be interesting. I know some of them can definitely feel really real. Alright, so sadly, after waking up, I had already forgotten almost all of it. Only my confusion and interrupted sleep are evidence that it ever even happened. It embarrasses me to confess it, but I was never good at remembering my dreams. Why would that be embarrassing? I think a lot of people can't remember their dreams. Ryan says, try sending it to me again. Okay, a link or something. Anyway, there's no point on thinking about that anymore. After taking a couple of seconds to clear my mind, I lazily look at the clock. It says 6:58 in the morning. In just 2 minutes, my alarm will ring. How many of you guys have had that happen to you? Put a 1 in the chat, guys, if you guys, like, you only set your alarm for a certain time, you know, for school or work or whatever, and you get in a habit of, like, waking up, like, just a couple of minutes before your alarm goes off. I know that when I set my alarm for, like, 7 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. or whatever, after doing a certain time many times, I will definitely get in a habit of, like, waking up 5 minutes before, 3 minutes before, or something like that. If that happens to you guys, put a 1 in the chat. That happens to me a lot. Anyway, he wakes up from his dream, from a realistic dream, or a dream that seemed like a movie, just 2 minutes before his alarm goes off. And then I let out a sigh, feeling relieved and waking up. Sweetable says that happens to him a lot. Okay. Sweetable, you're actually a girl, are you not? I can't remember. Yeah, hey, long time no see. How you doing? Fire Kirby agrees that happens to him a lot as well. So this guy feels relieved that he actually woke up. I guess the dream was kind of intense. I really hate that sound, but it is a necessary evil if I want to get to college on time. My apartment is completely silent. Okay, so we got a young college student here, living alone maybe? Yep, I'm the only resident, so if I want to hear some noise, I'll have to make it myself. Just a few months back, I lived with my parents, but I had to move when I got accepted into college. I don't really mind, it is very comfortable. And I keep in touch with my old friends thanks to the internet. And without saying a word, I get prepared and go out to class. College is only one subway trip away. I choose to study the visual arts. Oh, how convenient. A visual novel, and this student is studying visual arts. My parents are worried I'll never find a job, but at least I would like to try it, just because I like it. You know, I think that's important. I mean, that's exactly why I do YouTube and why I'm making games now after all these years. Putting out my first published game on Steam now really makes me wish that I had, you know, got into producing games many years ago. Because, you know, I think it's important, whatever you do, to do something that you enjoy. I think way too many people out there really do jobs that are mundane and boring or something they hate. And I really don't think that, I think life is short. And I don't think that you should get stuck in a life of working a third or half of your life at a job that you can't stand. You know, I really do think it's important to get into something that you enjoy doing. I mean, let's admit, it's a lot better to get paid for something you enjoy doing rather than something you absolutely hate with a passion. Okay. However, I should say that soon after my classes started, I got slightly disappointed. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I thought we were going to draw all day and learn about anatomy and different styles of shading and other fun things. But it turns out there are plenty of theatrical classes, like expressing our feelings, communication, history of the arts, and others. I don't regret it, but it is like a stain on your dreams. Anyway, I try not to think about it very much. I don't have Fuzzspot up, guys. I can turn Fuzzspot up. Let me turn Fuzzspot on real quick. So you guys are earning coins. Fuzzspot is coming up. Since the beginning, I knew it was going to be difficult, so a little more effort doesn't make much of a difference now. Classes feel short today. I hear the teachers talk and take notes, like every other time, but I just can't stop thinking about that dream. Uh-oh. I think about it while looking at my necklace, shaped like half of a heart. I know somebody gave it to me long ago, but I can't remember who. Alright guys, I can already tell you that whoever gave him this half of a necklace is going to be a big part of the story. I've seen enough movies, I've read enough stories to know that whoever gave him the other part of this necklace that he can't remember who it was, they're going to become a big part of the story at some point. And you guys are like, well, duh, Zax. You didn't need to tell us the blatantly obvious. I guess that's why I look at it, because both were lost from memory. Okay. Okay, guys, Fuss Spot should now be up. You guys should be earning coins now. As long as you stay active in the chat, you say something every 10 minutes, you should be getting your ZaxCoins for being here. Pretty simple. If I make a big effort, it seems like I can remember a little of it, but it's like looking at a blurry picture. No matter how much I look at it, or from which angle, in the end, I can't make any sense out of it. It feels sour, but there is no other choice than to give up on it. By the time I had made it out of my mind, by the time I had made up my mind, I had already arrived at home. So without paying attention, I opened the door and put down my bag at the entrance. I never expect any visitors, so there's no need to be tidy, okay? Because he lives by himself. And when I turn on the computer and start watching I turn on the computer and start watching an animated series. It may sound silly, I guess, but I like shows for kids quite a bit. And before I realize, it's already late. Lately, I feel days are much shorter, but I guess it's my own fault for having so many distractions. I should have dinner and call it a day. Phone's ringing. Okay. I'm ready to cook something when suddenly I hear the phone ringing. That's weird. I can't imagine who would be calling at this hour, except for those annoying credit card sellers. Those are fun. Gary says, "Good evening." Oh, I'm Gary. Okay. I'm Gary. Okay. Good evening. Oh, hello, Mom. I didn't expect you to call. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. See, I didn't even know if I was a girl or a guy until I just saw this. At first, I thought it was whoever was calling me. But no, we are Gary, guys. At least right now, we're Gary. I don't know if this visual novel is going to change points of view. I know some of them do have different POVs or points of view for different characters. Or if we're going to be Gary the whole novel. I guess we'll find out. Yes, Mom, I'm fine. Don't worry. Classes are going fine. Not exactly what I expected, but I like them. No, Mom, of course not. I'm taking good care of what I eat. Yes. I'll also clean every week. So far, I haven't made any friends, Mom, but the course has just started. Look at his face. He's like, Mom, quit bugging me. We just talked about this last week. And Mom just desperately wants to get a hold of her son who's lived with her whole life and make sure he's okay because, you know, Mom is missing her son. Yep, for sure. No, I haven't made any friends, Mom. So she's bugging him in college, just starting college, on if he's made friends yet. Does that not sound like a mom? I mean, that totally sounds like a mom. Yes, Mom, I'll keep that in mind. Good night, Mom. Hey, Mom, say hi to Dad for me. I sigh just after hanging up. I just moved, and it seems like they're already missing me. But there was no other choice. This college is just too far to drive from home. I loudly yawn. Suddenly, I feel just very tired. Because of that dream, I couldn't sleep properly last night. I think it's better for me to go to bed now. I wonder if he's going to have the dream again. or it's going to continue. I turn off the lights and lie down, pulling the blankets up to my chest. You guys get on my level scrub in the chat about the ZaxCoins. That's funny, right? And then I stare at the ceiling for unknown minutes until my eyes finally close. Darkness guides me towards a deep dream. I leave this world, submerging into another. One that exists only for me, and only inside of me. A place filled with eternal calmness, where no worry or problems exist, unless I want it to. Or at least, that's how it should be, right? Surrounded by an endless white, in front of me there is a woman showing me her back. It's someone that I've never seen before. Her hair is long and golden, and she is unspeakably beautiful. Even without seeing her face, I could know it, or rather, feel it. And just looking at her back makes my heart jump and leaves me breathless. So, someone he's never seen before, but he doesn't see her face, but he knows he's never seen her before? Is he sure? Could it be the person that gave him that half a heart? Maybe he just forgot her? I don't know. What do you guys think? It even seems like the air around her is filled with a mysterious magic. It's not just a smell, but it is an energy that makes everything it touches more beautiful, as if nothing less than perfection was allowed before her. But who could such a person be? And why is she here now? Hello? I ask in my confusion. At the same time, I extend a hand towards her, trying to get her attention. But of course, she can't even see me. And the girl says, "Gary?" "Yeah, that's my name." I pause and swallow some saliva. I'm very nervous for no reason. What is yours?" The woman is slow to answer, as if she had forgotten her own name. "My name is Alice," she finally said with a soft voice. "Don't you think it's a pretty name?" And she smiles. "Well, yeah." I feel stupid for giving such a short answer, but then I remember there are far more important things to think about right now. I stare deeply at her, still enchanted by her beauty. "Alice?" "Yes," she answered, still showing her back at me. Why are you here?" My heart stops for an instant after I say those words. I don't know the reason, if it was fear or anxiety, but without a doubt, I was expecting something big. Are you a part of my dream?" I said, and after noticing she was taking too long to answer, she was doing it on purpose. "I guess I am. Or maybe you are a part of mine." Her question left me incredulous. What the heck did she mean by that? I'm sorry, I don't get it. What do you mean?" I said while taking a step towards her. And she shakes her head in denial. "It doesn't matter. We're just in the same dream. This dream is yours, but it's also mine." Huh? I can't say I fully understand what she meant by that. But even if we are in the same dream, someone must be the creator of this place, right? And in that case, you could say that this dream would belong to that person. You forgot it so easily, Gary. You left me waiting all day, and the next day, and then the following one, until I had to come for you. Oh, wow. This is getting deep. This is getting deep really, really early into the novel. What the heck is going on here? So she had to come to his dream to look for him because he left her waiting all day the next day, and then the following one. Interesting. I'm into this. I'm liking this so far. You guys put a 1 in the chat if you guys are enjoying this novel so far. If you guys are intrigued or wondering what's going to happen. Who the hell is this girl? Who the hell is Alice? I gotta know. I gotta know, guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys gotta know too. And she says, "Aren't you ashamed?" My heart trembles after hearing those words. Wow, now she's guilting me. Yeah, she's guilting me now. Saying, she even asked me, "Aren't you ashamed?" Poor Gary doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about. Alright, see you, Ryan. Have a good one, man. Sleep well, bud. My heart trembles after hearing those words. Suddenly, I feel chills run all over my spine. What is she talking about? I'm sorry, but I think you're mistaking me for somebody else, I said shyly and with a very weak voice. I felt terribly guilty, but I know I had never seen her before in my life. She's got to be confusing me with somebody else. That is, considering this isn't just some weird dream. No, it's you who is confused. I know perfectly who you are. Oh, wow. Actually, I know more about you than you know about yourself. Now, you guys will see me kind of change the words around. If I feel like I kind of understand what the typed words are saying, and I feel like I can make it mean a little bit more by adding a word or two or kind of changing the wording a little bit, I will definitely do it if I feel it gives it more effect while I read it. So if you guys are wondering, how come you're not reading it word for word, Zax? A lot of times I do that with these visual novels. If I can add a word or subtract a word or whatever to give it more effect with the empathy and the tone I'm using, I will usually try to do that. So she says, actually, I know more about you than you even know about yourself, basically here. And, yep, what did I say, guys? I told you that whoever gave him that other part of the necklace was going to be somebody coming into the visual novel and be a big part of it. And after saying that, she suddenly shows me her hand, holding a necklace with the shape of half a heart. And it's just like mine. The woman sounds slightly angry. Meanwhile, I couldn't be any more freaking confused. My back feels cold, my hands are shaking, and my throat is dry. What? What are you saying? I finally muster up the courage to grab her by her shoulder. No, it wasn't bravery. I was dead curious. I wanted to know what in the hell she meant. Alice turns around, but before I could see her face, she transforms into black smoke. The smoke slips between my fingers, dissipating until it disappears. Wow, isn't that kind of how a dream goes too? He goes and grabs her by the shoulder and he's like, wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And this is obviously some big part of his life. You know, I don't know if it's a sister or a long lost love or what, but, you know, could it be an angel that's watching over him? We don't know yet. But he's looking for answers in this dream that seems really real. He goes and grabs her by the shoulder. What do you mean? You know, you waited for me and you know me better than I know myself. And she disappears through his fingers into a black smoke. This definitely started off interesting for sure. For an instant, I could feel her warmth and her softness, the same feeling as that of a caressing human hand, the hand of a woman. So he almost feels her. He almost feels her warmth and her softness and who she is. Kind of like real life, you know, like hugging someone or something is what I'm kind of getting from this, as she dissipates into smoke. It's pretty deep. That sensation burns into my fingers, leaving me astonished, and my mind is completely blank. I forget how to even breathe from the surprise. Who? What did I forget? I should be more interested in knowing who Alice is, but what really fills my mind is that question. What did I forget? This makes no sense. I suddenly groan for no reason. I feel like my head just got stabbed. It's like if someone was hitting my skull from the inside, hanging my mind upside down until it drops all of my deepest memories. What the hell did I forget? What could be so damn important? It is at that moment that I suddenly open my eyes. I take a deep breath, filling my lungs with air. And then I set my hand on my forehead, feeling it covered in sweat. I quickly search for my necklace, finding it right where I left it. And then I look at the clock. It's only 2:20 in the morning. There's still plenty of time before the sun comes up. I exhale, letting my anxiety go with my breath. This time, I won't be able to sleep again. I'm sure of that. Well, maybe this is a great opportunity to go ahead and have dinner. At 2:20 in the morning? Oh, wow. I say to myself jokingly, I'm not really hungry, but maybe eating something could distract me from that dream. I had just put my feet on the floor when suddenly I heard someone ringing the bell at the door. Oh, wow, what the heck? Who the hell could be ringing his doorbell at 2:20 in the morning right after he wakes up from such a vivid, crazy dream? Damn! Who could it be? Don't tell me it's her. Is it going to be Alice? I don't think so. I don't think so. What the heck? I can't even imagine who could be ringing my doorbell at this hour. I barely get visits in the regular hours. Yeah, like Fire Kirby says, this is getting spooky now. I feel a chill run down my spine. Yep, I can see why. That would be scary. Could you imagine having a dream that vivid and that crazy where you actually felt them? You see your hand in your dream go to touch their shoulder and they dissipate into smoke between your fingers, and you can actually feel the soul and the warmth of the person you're touching go through your fingers as you dream it. And then you wake up from such a crazy vivid dream and you're trying to get your mind off of it, and then suddenly the doorbell starts ringing at 2:30 in the morning. That would be absolutely scary as shit. I agree, Fire Kirby. And just like he says, I feel a chill run down my spine. I think it would be scary. I wait a moment, hoping that the visitor would get bored and leave. But after a while, it seems like that wasn't going to happen. Finally, I sigh exasperatedly and resign myself to go and see who the hell it is. As I walk towards the door, I can't stop thinking about how this is so weird. I'm afraid I would be lying if I said otherwise, but unless I go and check, I'll never know what the hell is going on. I swallow my saliva, feeling it bitter when I'm in front of the door. My heart beats so fast that I can feel it in my throat. And then I take a deep breath and prepare to look through the peephole of that door. It is at that moment that I see a small envelope slide in from under the door. I almost jump from the shock of what happens. My eyes and my mouth are open wide, showing my incredulity. I quickly open the door, finding nothing but empty air in the surroundings. Oh my god, that would be so freaking creepy. Like he goes and answers the door and there's nobody there, but an envelope slides under the door. What in the hell? There are no footprints or any other evidence of someone being there, other than this damn envelope. If it wasn't for it, I'd think I was still dreaming. It's a letter from the Hogwarts, Fire Kirby says. Only this dream, instead of being mysterious and calm, feels more like a horror story. Without a second thought, I close the door, making sure that I lock it. Yeah, I can totally see how he'd be locking that door after he took the envelope. I don't want any unwanted visitors tonight, or ever. And then I fix my sight on the envelope. It's made out of ordinary paper and has no sender information at all. The only thing it says on it is that it's for me. I blink before carefully opening it. And inside there's a single sheet of paper with a drawing made with crayons. It's not very good and seems to be made by a small child. Human figures made with sticks and circles that pretend to be a boy and a girl holding hands, right next to a heart. Aww. There is something written inside them. Gary and me. It's her. I murmured, my lips moving by themselves. My heart stops for an instant. I shake my head many times, unable to believe it. I can't believe what is in front of my own eyes. I was just getting over the surprise when something else happens. I exclaim, confused, looking towards the kitchen. I heard a glass breaking. I live alone, but have no pets, and there's no wind. How is it possible? Did the glass just shatter all by itself? Because that's what it looks like. I leave the envelope and quickly go into the kitchen to see what the heck's going on. Once I'm there, my face becomes pale and my body solid like stone, so it basically freezes up, while my eyes look in disbelief at the glass shards all over the floor. I almost faint at that moment. I don't know what to think. I don't feel safe anymore. Fire Kirby says, Zax, I thought this was a love story, but I'm scared now. Yeah, this is pretty intense for sure, Fire Kirby. This would be, could you imagine if this actually happened? This would be freaky as shit. I hold my breath for a couple of seconds until I notice a sheet of paper on the floor. I slowly get closer and pick it up, careful not to step on any of the glass shards. Another piece of paper. It's another child's drawing, but this one's a cheerful one. But at the same time, it's also weird. I can't explain, but seeing that drawn makes me anxious, and I shake my head. Rather, I think it is not the drawing itself, but how I found it that makes it so weird. There is something written on it. Why did it break? I didn't want it to. Even if things fall, they shouldn't break without my permission. Don't you think that's weird? So it's obviously a message from her on the note saying, why would things break without my permission? I blink, confused. My mind, it's blank. What can I say? It's something like that. I'm reading an incomprehensible message that shouldn't even exist. However, I don't have much time to think about that. Suddenly, another noise calls my attention. This time, the sound of the shower in the bathroom. I feel a chill move all over my spine, slowly crawling its way. Instantly, my body is covered in ice. What? His body's covered in ice? I can't move a single finger. I'm so frightened. The very idea that someone or something is inside my home when I'm supposed to be alone makes me tremble in fear. The sound continues for long seconds, then minutes without any change. I simply try to ignore it, as if doing that was enough to make it go away. But no matter how long I wait, it just never happens. In the end, I can only steel myself and go check it. I take a deep breath, filling my lungs with air. And then I slowly walked towards the bathroom, staring at the door before carefully opening it. Warm steam escapes from my room. My heart beats like a drum at every second. I beg that there is nothing on the other side. And then I find it is just that. It's nothing. The shower suddenly opened itself up, pouring hot water out without any reason. It shouldn't be the first inexplicable thing tonight. Or wouldn't be the first inexplicable thing tonight. I close my eyes and sigh, full of relief. However, this isn't over yet. I still need to find out what the heck's going on here. This is just too much to leave to my imagination. I close the water, seeing the shower stop. I stand there for a few more seconds trying to understand what is going on, but of course I can't come up with any answers. And then I rub my face in a gesture full of frustration. I'm losing my mind, I said quietly, talking to myself. And then I exhale, letting my anxiety go with my breath. I think about going out or calling someone for company, but I have no one to ask for help, especially at like 3 a.m., right? And strangely, the idea of going out this late at night sounds even more terrifying. And when I opened the door, I saw the empty hallway. It gave me the sensation that something scary was hiding in the shadows. That'd be scary too. I can't explain it, but I locked the door, and I wanted to stay just like that. But it seems my home isn't very safe either. I turn around, thinking of going back to bed, and the only thing I can do is wait for the sun to come out. If the next night I have another experience like this, I'm gonna move without any second thoughts. And then suddenly I opened my eyes wide, incredulous. So he was dreaming all of this. I didn't realize before, but there was a drawing in the mirror, as if someone had used a finger to clean the thin layer of steam on it. It is a ship sinking. There is also something written. There are hundreds of paths, and all of them guide to the same end. I read it over and over without understanding what it means. It is a message. Is this a message for me? My lips can't say a single word. There are hundreds of paths that all have the same ending. Interesting. The silence now feels oppressive. My heart shrinks as I think of how I'm alone and how I feel alone. As if I had been cut away from the very world I live in. Forsaken. However, things continue to happen. Things that shouldn't. I can't understand anything. I don't know what I can do. But my only hope is that sun will turn all of this into nothing more than just a bad dream. And with that in mind, I walk to my room. But when I get there, I find there is another surprise waiting for me. What is this? I murmured, confused, while looking right at the a sheep plush. So now he sees a sheep plush. It's in perfect condition, as if it was new. Or maybe it is. There is no way to know. And next to the plush sheep, there is a sheet of paper. I quietly get closer and pick it up. It has a drawing of a wolf made with crayons. The wolf looks angry, but there is something written too. I don't like wolves, but I'm surrounded by them. The only way to avoid them is by hiding. Wow, this is a lot. I agree, Fire Kirby. Again, an incomprehensible message. Just like the fact the plushie appeared from out of nowhere. After a few seconds, I grab the plushie with curiosity. It's very soft, It could easily be used as a pillow. Outside of that, there is nothing else worth saying. It doesn't appear to have anything weird about it. I don't know what I should do. Everything is so strange. It all began after that dream. And I blink, confused, trying to come up with an answer. That's right, I forgot. This must be the work of that woman, Alice. Her words come back to my mind. She said that I had forgotten something. And I don't think there could be a memory that could make sense of all this. But even knowing that, or even knowing that it would be a lie to say I didn't have an uncontrollable curiosity of what it was that he forgot. Gary? I was lost in my mind when suddenly I hear someone whisper my name behind me. Oh, wow. Now somebody's behind him whispering his name? Is he going to turn around and see nobody there? I jump, surprised. My heart stops and my blood turns into ice. I instantly turn around by a reflex, finding something that simply shouldn't be there. In front of my eyes is a huge mirror that just appears out of nowhere. It's even bigger than me, reflecting all of my body. I stare at my own reflex, hypnotized by that image. It is as if it's the first time I've even seen a mirror. I look at my reflection, copying my movements without mistake. I've moved my hands, my head, and my legs, and the reflection does exactly the same. However, there is something special about that image, the reflection. The person in the mirror is the right one, but the place where it is, it's not the same. My room does not reflect in the mirror. Instead, the background belongs to another house, made of wood, and with the looks of it being an abandoned house for many, many years. So now he's seeing his own reflection, copying his movements in a big mirror, but it's of him in an abandoned house. I simply can't talk. Not a single word comes to my mind that could begin to describe the feeling of wonder, surprise, and insecurity that invades me at that moment. It's so incredible, yet so impossible. It's something out of a dream. But that's why it's something I can't control or even begin to understand. Is it even safe to be in the same room as this mirror? I don't know. However, I can't stop staring at it. Okay, well, I can have it. My first choice in this visual novel, guys, is to look closer at it, or I should get out of here. I think my curiosity is going to get the best of me, and I'm going to take a closer look. Enchanted by the mysterious presence of the mirror, I started to walk towards it. And before I know it, I was standing right next to it. And I blink while looking at it in silence. There is something incredible on it. Not just that, something absolutely beautiful too. I don't think before extending a hand, touching the glass with the tip of my fingers. It feels like touching the surface of a frozen lake. Holy cow, could you imagine that? You see a mirror appear out of nowhere, all this stuff happens, and then you see a mirror of your own reflection, bigger than you, appearing out of nowhere behind you. You see your own reflection, but you're in a different house in the reflection. And then you touch the glass on the mirror, and it feels cold, like ice of a frozen lake. Pretty weird. I feel like I only need to press a little harder to get inside the mirror, cross into it, as if I was jumping into a pool. Should I try it? Why not? Jump. I'm not aware of what I was thinking until my feet moved, but then it was too late to stop. I opened my eyes, astonished at seeing what I was doing. Somebody planted an idea in my mind, and I accepted it as my own, so easily that it was scary. So now somebody's playing with his mind and putting ideas to jump into the mirror, into his head, and yeah, Fire Kirby says Gary's been smoking too much. Trippy. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, this dude has been doing a little bit too much stuff getting him high. Just seconds ago, I was frightened of that mirror, and now I was being consumed by it, falling deeper and deeper into an unknown place. I close my eyes, now unable to see me fall. I want to scream, but no sound comes out of me. It's as if I was screaming in outer space, but there's air here. No, I was wrong. There's no air, but water that surrounds me. I'm sinking as if someone had chained an anchor to my legs. So fast I was confused with it falling. The sensation doesn't go away for many long seconds that feel eternal. I lose myself falling from the world I belong to into another world. Ah! Suddenly, I open my eyes, gasping with surprise at the same time as I wake up, almost jumping. I was about to scream as if waking up from a nightmare. I would say that it was just that, if it wasn't for a single detail. So he would say it was a nightmare except for a single detail. I rub my forehead, finding small drops of sweat. And then I take a deep breath, closing my eyes for a moment. My heart still beats anxious, but slowly it relaxes. When I open my eyes again, I realize that I'm not in my own room. I haven't even woken up yet from the strange nightmare. Instead, I find myself in an old building made out of wood, so he sees himself in the old abandoned house that he saw himself in his reflection of. It sounds like. What is this place? I murmured, confused, while looking around, ignoring how I even got there. There doesn't seem to be anything strange about this place. I find myself in a dormitory. There are many beds around, all of them small and painted with bright colors. That makes me think that they belong to children. I scratched my head before standing up. Where am I? There is nobody here to listen to my questions, but curiosity is too much to stay quiet. I didn't realize before, but the beds have names on them. Royer, I read aloud, and with curiosity I take a look at all the others. Mary, Henry, and then I suddenly stop, opening my eyes wide and astonished. My heart jumps when I read the next name. Gary. What is this? I can't explain why this bed has my name. The only answer that comes to mind is that someone is waiting for me to prepare it. But in that case, this bed would be too small. I shake my head confused, and then look at the bed next to it, and it's going to be Alice, I bet. In so little time, I'm hit by a new surprise that makes me tremble to the core. The name on it was crossed, but there is another one below it that I instantly recognize, Alice. So one name is crossed out, but then there's another name below the name that's crossed out, and it says Alice. Okay, it's her. It must be her. But who brought me here? I said with complete confidence. So it's almost like he knows it's her. And then I look down, trying to think of what to do next. Soon after I rub my forehead, feeling quite stupid here. I first need to get out of here, and then I need to find a way back home. Of course, I said to myself, as if it was that easy. When I leave the bedroom, I arrive into a hallway that connects with two other doors. I guess more rooms, and some stairs that go down to the first floor. First, I try to open the doors without any result. Soon, the only option I have left is to go down. At the end of the stairs, there's a door, and when I open it, I see what seems to be a living room. I step inside and then look around with curiosity, discovering a double door. It's the exit. It has to be. I almost jump excited with that thought. But what happens next would not last much, or would not last long. Wait a minute. But that happiness would not last long. After looking at the door closely, I realized something. That the door was never going to open. There wasn't anything keeping it closed. It's just that I'm looking at a fake door. What? Now he's looking at a fake door? It's only a part of the wall, and it's disguised as a door. This is like the Maze Runner. Yeah, I know. That was actually a pretty good movie, Fire Kirby. I remember that movie. Wait, this can't be. I said after meaninglessly trying to open the door. And then I shake my head. I'm wrong. This is very possible. After all, I'm inside of a completely different world. This is the world behind the mirror. I can't judge it with the same logic as my own world, and I shouldn't. I take a deep breath before letting out a long sigh. If I want to escape, I guess I should try with the same mirror that got me here. That makes sense. The only problem is finding that mirror. Gary. Suddenly, I felt another chill. All of my body turns to ice when I hear someone call my name, whispering it with a creepy voice behind my back again. I instantly turn around, feeling surprised from nowhere, but there's no one. And 4 doors suddenly appear. What is going on? I said, confused, before getting closer. Each door has a name written on it. The Forest of Whispers, the Trip to the Deep, the Kingdom of the Sun, and the Forgotten Castle. Wow. I read the names aloud, unable to remember ever hearing any of them. They are completely new to me. This guy turns to ice a lot. Might want to get that checked out. However, the mystery doesn't end there. 3 of the doors are open, and the last, the Forgotten Castle, is blocked by 3 big lock pads. I'm never going to be able to break those, I said with resignation before sighing. Those chains look very solid. But if there are locks, it's because they're protecting something. It can't just be a coincidence to have 3 open doors and then 3 lock pads. There must be something valuable behind that door. I nod, convinced that I am right. And then I stare at all the open doors. Which one should I open first? The Forest of Whispers spelled wrong, the Trip to the Deeps, or the Kingdom of the Sun. Alright guys, with that, we are over an hour into this live stream right now. We are going to go ahead and break this right here. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to continue this one, guys. This one looks pretty interesting, but to be honest with you, I don't know that I'm going to continue going through this one. We'll see. We'll see if anybody wants me to continue. If anybody leaves me a comment on this video saying they want me to continue with this visual novel, I might do that. But at this point, guys, I'll probably leave these choices in this story to you guys, my viewer. This, again, is a visual novel that is completely free if you guys want to go play it and read it yourself and choose one of these doors. So, while it started pretty interesting, something about it, I don't know. Something about it isn't quite holding my interest the way I thought it might at the start. So, maybe it's just a little bit too far-fetched. I don't know. But I'm going to let you guys play this one yourself. The link is in the description, guys. This game is on Steam, and it is completely free. Let me know down in the comments below, though, if you guys really want me to continue with This one, we're going to go ahead and save it here. This is Connected Hearts. And we're going to go ahead and save. Alright guys, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for watching my live stream under the Moonshine, number 189. And this has been Connected Hearts and a teaser to start the video off tonight of my second game that I look forward to bringing to Steam. I want to thank you guys for watching. Fire Kirby, thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for being here. And I am actually getting kind of sleepy, so I'm going to go to sleep myself. And I'm going to hope I don't have any crazy, bizarre dreams like this one. Alright guys, have a good one. I hope that I don't see Alice in my dream, and I hope you guys don't see an Alice in your dream either. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.